What was your first DMT trip like?
I thought I was dead for sure.
I hit it one time.
How was that?
That shit was like a nigga died and was dead and then came back and was looked at itself dead and was like, okay, I done seen death, I'm cool.
Like seeing God when you see DMT?
Not God, I said death. And it felt like, I was like, and then I stood up and was looking at myself dying.
Wait, you said you saw your own body?
Yes. I stepped out of my body and looked out at myself for like about 25 seconds. When I come out of it, I was like, this is not for me.
Jtali. Welcome back to another episode of Jtali Reacts, bringing you the highest vibrations on YouTube. I got a dope video lined up for you guys today that I just know you're going to enjoy as we dive into DMT trips. What's the best trip report I could find? Kick back, relax, as we dive into the first clip. Now, I know a lot of you guys are saying, oh, where you been, Jtali? It's been like a week and you haven't posted. That's because I've been working on something special for you guys. I actually have a special guest coming on the show this Friday, so look out for that. His name's Commander Davenport. He's blowing up all over Instagram because he's sticking his nose up at the Globe Earth community. Before we jump in, if you're new to Jtali Reacts, welcome to the Manifest Mafia. We're decoding the simulation one reaction at a time. If you want to unlock the cheat codes to life, smash subscribe. Let's dive into the first clip. Here we go.
What was your first DMT trip like?
I thought I was dead for sure. I thought like, well, I
For
fucked
sure.
up. This just killed me. Like there's no way this is real. The first one was 5-MeO. It made you feel like you were broken down to subatomic particles and you integrated with the universe. That's what it made it feel like. Like completely integrated. I didn't exist anymore. Language didn't exist. History didn't exist. All of it was pointless and foolish. I was a part of the entire universe, and I was conscious that I was a part of the entire universe. It was like I didn't exist, but I existed in the universe. The universe existed, but all as one. It wasn't separated by individuals and animals and fish. It was all one thing. It was like the source. It was very profound, very strange. No visuals. It's just like almost like a fine geometric pattern through blinding white light. Like the experience is like blinding white light that seems to have some sort of a pattern to it. And again, like complete dissolving of ego, complete dissolving of history. I had no knowledge of didn't think of my language. I was thinking outside of language. I was thinking completely outside of being a human, it was just pure thought. And it wasn't my thought. It was all thought. It was all one big crazy burst, and it lasts like 15 minutes.
So I've never done 5-MeO DMT, but I can imagine what he's saying as far as like feeling it one. There is no body. There is no thought. Like there is no, like you don't have an individual thought. Like it's really hard to explain. But that's why I created this video, to try to help you guys who may be interested in experiencing this, help you understand a little better on what to expect, even though there is no way to prepare you. And as far as him thinking he was dead, man, I did it, last time I did it was Thanksgiving weekend of last year, and bro, it was terrifying, because like I didn't really want to do it. I brought some for a friend of mine, he's never tried it, I want him to experience it, and he hit it, he did it, and I was like, I'll just take one hit to like get the visuals, right? Because if you take 3 hits, you're gonna blast off. You're not gonna be here. It's overwhelming. It's a lot, and I just didn't want to go there because I've been there. I mean, you kind of gotta like prepare yourself for it, and I was not prepared. So I was like, I'll just take 1 hit and maybe get some visuals. So I guess I took too big of a rip because it was the most intense experience I've ever had, ever. And I thought I only took 1 hit, and I was gone. And I literally thought I died. I said like a few times, did I die? Did I die? Like, because like, I thought I was dead. Like the main reason I thought I was dead was because I kept trying to open my eyes and I couldn't. So like there was no opening and closing the eyes because there is no you, there is no body when you're there. It was profound, to say the least. But let's jump into the next clip.
DMT made you believe in God? Yeah. The first time I did
see
DMT, I was 19 years old. I was a stone cold atheist my whole life until this point. What happened was I blasted out of my body. I looked back down. I could see the earth. I was in space. I could see the spherical earth with a electric current that started to orbit around like the equator. And then I zoomed in. I became that current, and it was like a stream of consciousness. As the electrical current circled the globe, my vision and my awareness was hopping from different bodies. So I was like a rice farmer in China. Then I was like an Indian woman holding a baby. Then I was like a Middle Eastern man. And I'm seeing all these different parts of the world as I'm bouncing around until I circle back. And then I'm back in my body. And I just open my eyes and I'm just sitting there on my bed. It was 7 minutes later. And that's when I was like, okay, there's definitely a God and an afterlife.
Oh my God. DMT made you believe in God?
Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy because I really can't like comprehend what he's saying as far as like being in all these people. And it's probably not like you're thinking either, like an actual person in reality. It's probably a lot different, a lot more vivid, colorful, not really a person, but that's the best way he can describe it because it's really indescribable. It really is. The closest thing I've had to that was an experience one time where I'm like, I blast off and I'm like, tumbling through this. I feel like I'm on a roller coaster. Like it's pushing me through. Like I'm like sitting down and it's pushing me through. And it's almost like you ever rode one of those like motion coasters and there's a screen in front of you? That's kind of how it felt. And I was going through this like city that was like a carnival city. It was like a big carnival and it was a big city. And I kept trying to like, I would see things I'm interested in and I would try to like stop and I couldn't stop. But I recently found out like breath work will help you control it. I've been studying the DMT-X trials and they're saying like breath work. Breath work helps you control that space and navigate that space a little better.
Apparently, you know how when people trip on DMT, they can see entities and things they talk to, right? Mm-hmm. And what certain people call like, I don't know, they praise it. Some people think they're aliens or whatever they are. Did you know you can actually get banned from the DMT realm?
What?
Yeah.
Wait, no, how,
this is
how's that possible?
insane. This is insane.
So you get banned from the
people say, and this is very common.
Yeah.
That if you overuse DMT and talk to the entities or whoever's up there, and they deem you as no longer worthy or no longer need their help, they'll stop you from accessing that realm. And you'll get banned. So when they'll try to get high of DMT again, they won't get there.
Oh, it wouldn't work?
So they'll be stuck trying to get there, but won't get there. So it will work until they tell you, like, you can't come back here. And then they'll try. They won't get back to that realm. They could be banned by the entity. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
So people call it being banned from hyperspace. Because people call it hyperspace. Because they think they're either extraterrestrials or like some sort of, who knows, like astronomical beings. I heard.
Astronomical beings. Maybe interdimensional beings, maybe. I don't think a lot of people are praising it quite yet. It may turn into that when DMT gets more popular. I mean, some people may look at them as gods or deities. I do think it's possible they're on a higher level of existence than us. Maybe like if we're in a game and me and you are on level 32, I think they're more on level 40 or 50. You know, that's kind of a good way to put it. But you could tell he's never done it or experienced it, which I think everybody should. But I also think it's something that calls you. When you're ready to experience it, it will appear for you, if that makes sense. Because like ayahuasca, DMT, I studied this for like 5 years before I even thought about doing it. And then finally I was like, I'm ready to do it. The first person I asked had it. So it was pretty weird. It was pretty crazy. But when you're ready, it'll find you. But do it in a controlled environment. And this is in no way promoting drugs. Like, I'm not promoting drugs. I am promoting a spiritual experience that I think everybody should encounter. I really do. I think when you come back, you have a new appreciation for life Maybe because you felt death, like, again, because I think it's something I think it's somewhere we've been before. I really do. I think we've been there before. It all feels very familiar. You know what it feels like? It feels like a dream, and it acts like a dream. How right when you have this ultra vivid experience, like more vivid than life, and then right when you come out of it, it's like fading from your memory instantly. It's like gone. And then what's crazy is over the next month or two, you'll have flashbacks. Not really like flashbacks like, oh, I'm there, which you do have those. But you'll have flashbacks and be like, oh, that's what that was. Something will happen in your daily life and you'll be like, oh, damn, I remember that from that. Like, it's hard to explain, but definitely crazy.
What could go wrong? What could go wrong?
Oh, these are great. These are great. Tales from the trip, man.
Hi.
Hoping
My
we don't
name's
get
Doug
copyright
Trussell.
for this.
This is a story about the time I overdosed on 5-MeO DMT in my shitty apartment in West Hollywood next to the alley where drunk girls would throw up at night. In those days, I had what I think is best described as like stupid psychonaut hubris. That person who feels like they've taken so many psychedelics, they're impervious to other psychedelics. Essentially, I was an idiot. And whenever you get that kind of puffed up pride, you anger the gods, and the gods punish you. In this case, a dear friend of mine who I knew had never taken LSD had smoked something that you could order off the internet called 5-MeO
Hey.
DMT.
That's
And
definitely
one of the
Joe
names
Rogan
for
he's talking about.
5-MeO DMT is the void. 5-MeO DMT is what certain toads secrete when they're scared, but bad news for toads, because monkey descendants figured out this stuff will get you blasted. Millions and millions of years of evolution to create something to protect you, and suddenly hippies are chasing you through the desert, trying to scare you so you fear squirt 5-MeO DMT. Of course, what I took was the synthetic version. It didn't come from a terrified desert toad. Those days, anyone who'd never taken LSD, if they were saying that this thing or that thing was really powerful, I just didn't believe them. And when my friend called me and said, it takes you to the heart of the universe, I just thought, there's no fucking way there's something you can order online takes you to the heart of the universe. And so I went online to the website he recommended, came to my house in a weird silver.
Yo, what's funny is he's definitely 100% talking about Joe Rogan, because Joe Rogan's always like, yeah, I ordered it online and like it gave me enough to get all of LA high forever. But like he had the synthetic version, like the story lines up. So it's funny he's afraid to say it's Joe on this, maybe because it's on Comedy Central. But yeah, definitely Joe Rogan.
Packet. So I took it and I poured it into my weed pipe and I lit it, inhaled. Nothing happened. Of course, it doesn't work. It's from the internet. Later, I thought to myself, you know what? Maybe if I pour some of these crystals onto oregano, it will work. I don't know why I thought that. It's like a thought that like Satan sends into your mind. It was a bad thought. And also, I have to mention, I'd done a little research into 5-MeO. The warnings were, you must have a scale because it's so powerful. I don't need a fucking scale. I'll just dump a nice pile of it onto this oregano and light it with my shitty butane lighter sitting on my rotten bed in this $650 a month garbage apartment where someone broke in through the window and stole my favorite guitar. And what could go wrong? What could go wrong? No one ever dies from drugs alone, right? Not in some shitty apartment in West Hollywood. It never happens. So I took a hit of this, inhaled.
Damn, that's a big bomb.
So much smoke. My last thoughts were, oh my God.
Yeah.
It was like someone had just put their finger on whatever record player my thoughts were being played on. And that was it. It was like the universe just deleted me. Like the universe just wiped my hard drive. Like the universe was like,
Oh, Duncan Trussell, yeah, use the dry eraser. There, let's just wipe him off the dry erase board of this dimension for a little while. Won't that be fun? You know what? Let's just completely annihilate him. What's the point of that guy anyway? He's just getting too high in some shitty apartment in West Hollywood. Let's just reset.
I don't know what happened to me because I was gone vanquished,
Gone.
annihilated. Like, not annihilated where your friend's like, man, I got so stoned I was annihilated. But
Yeah.
literally, like, I was gone.
Gone.
Nothing.
You
Nothing.
don't
And
exist.
then finally, when some little bit of my consciousness crept back in, all I could think was, this is how I die. I killed myself. I'm dead, and then it took me again, deleted again, just gone. And then I came back. And I was so thrilled that I was alive that I pushed myself off of my bed and looked in the mirror, and everything was just melting. Like my entire apartment were some kind of wax candle that was just melting. My eyes were vivid, black, dilated circles. And then, because it's DMT, within a minute, totally sober.
Totally sober.
Called my friend. And was like, you were right. You were right.
Almost everyone that takes DMT, these creatures show up that look like court gestures or space aliens with different things and say, there are too many humans, you need to wipe out the population, then you'll become gods.
You need to kill people so you can become God?
Yes, you need to depopulate and you need to transcend.
Do you know people who've heard that message?
Oh, absolutely. They've had whole groups and studies that have had group hallucinations of this. Tech heads who, microdose and are big in hallucinations and big into hallucinogenics, when they get more advanced and deep into it, then the things start giving them more ideas and explaining the system they're going to build, the AI, the takeover, and this new species, and how you're going to transcend death. They say the devil's greatest trick was convincing the world he didn't exist. I think that's his second biggest trick. I think convincing the world that good doesn't exist is the devil's biggest trick.
Yes.
Convincing us that there isn't anybody good and that you don't have power and that it's all over. The biggest trick is hopelessness when we're promoting truth and justice and honor, and we can't just dial into demons. We can also dial into God and get that message, but you first have to recognize that good and evil exist.
Yes.
So I don't know if Alex Jones has just never done it, or he's just trying to propagate a narrative like right there, because I don't see that. I really don't. I don't see them hitting us with kill the world, kill the world, kill the world, kill the world, kill the world. I don't see that at all. So I think Alex Jones is like straight dropping narrative on us at that point. But as far as him saying they're giving us a codex to build them bodies to operate in, like AI and synthetic forms, computers, whatever the case may be, I believe that. I think that is very likely. Very likely. I think it's very possible that they are giving people information that people are bringing back into this realm and utilizing. Very possible. The DMTX studies, one of the guy was saying they taught him a new, the guy was like, I want you to show me you're real, like show me, give me some proof that I can bring back. So they taught him, and this is very small, a small thing, but it worked. They gave him a new note to play on the guitar. So it's like weird, but he brought it back and it was a new note and it worked. So small, but they're operating in a different reality. Are they demons? I will say, when he said gestures and everything, the first time I did it, I was very scared. And I was scared to do it for the reason I was scared, because I was like, damn, if I'm scared, I'm going to have a bad trip. I don't want to have a bad trip. After doing it, I don't think you can ever have a bad trip. I think you can have an honest trip. I think you can have a detrimental trip. But I don't think you can have a bad trip. I think you're going to have an intense trip, a very scary trip, but not a bad trip, if you get what I'm saying. Because when you're in there, it's so quick and then you're out. So it's like, it's not like a bad trip where it's like, oh my God, this is never ending for like 3 hours of badness and I can't get out. No, by the time you realize you're in, you're already out. So I don't think you can really have a bad trip. But anyway, first time I do it, I'm scared. I'm like, all right, I hit it. I just take one hit to see how it feels. Instantly, I felt love encompass my whole body. And I was like, oh, this isn't a negative thing. This is a positive thing. Whatever this is a positive feeling and a positive thing. So then I felt a little brave, took 2 hits. I went there like slowly. I saw like a lot of like snake shapes. Like you know the old computer screensavers and they have the snakes? That's kind of like what I saw, but 50 times more real and 50 times more vivid. Then what really scared me, low key, I saw what I thought was the devil, but it was the shadow of a devil. But it wasn't the devil. It was the jester, because the jester has the things, and I thought they were horns at first, but I got a better look and it was the jester. So that's what I like later realized. But it's definitely crazy, bro. It's just crazy.
Starts to whirl like a
we got another
Fibonacci
one.
sequence.
Nice.
Hi, my name is Ramin Nazer, and this is the time I smoked DMT, saw every single timeline in the multiverse, and forgot which one I came from. Back when I lived in Austin, Texas, my friend Shane Moss from episode whatever of this show, he's the most popular episode of this show, he had just discovered DMT, and he was very eager to share it with me. And I'd tried psilocybin before, so I knew what psychedelics were about, but I heard that DMT was on a whole other level.
Yes.
Terrence McKenna once said that
DMT is like something that fell from a flying saucer, where you're sure you're dead.
Shane has the little bag of the psychedelic stuff, walking around like my own private Willy Wonka going, boy, am I excited for you. We sit down in my living room, and I am instructed to take 3 full hits, no matter how difficult it is to hold it in. The first hit I take in, immediately my heart starts to beat like a drum in a funkadelic concert, just Shane says, okay, take 1 more, and I take the second hit of the metallic tasting purpley alien substance. Immediately I start to see this glowing code all over my hands, and I look very ancient, not frail like I'm about to die, but I look like I'm some millennia old god with code all over me. I was clearly that thing that came to experience a human, not vice versa, hallucinating being the ancient.
Pause. And what's crazy is when they do the laser experiment, they could see a code. And what's weird is, so if you put the laser, let's say we take the laser and we shoot the laser across this bottle like this, right? The numbers or ancient letters or Egyptian hieroglyphics, whatever the code is, I haven't done this yet, but I've studied it. The Egyptian code right here, right? Or let's say on the bi letters. Or let's not say letters, I don't want to confuse you. Right here, the code right here across the blueberries. The code on the blueberries is the same for everybody. So if I see person hieroglyph, apple hieroglyph, number 4, dick hieroglyph. No, I'm just kidding. If you're going to see the same hieroglyphs. So that's what's kind of crazy about that. Like, are we in a simulation? Is this helping us see through the code? Is that what's happening with DMT? Because we're definitely seeing through something. What's really scary, and I don't know if it's a guardian angel, if it's a good conscience and a bad conscience type thing, but it low-key scares me because every time I do DMT, I see this. I don't see it, but I do see it. I do see it. So every time, I'm usually sitting up in a chair. It scares me just thinking about, like, my arms, hairs are standing up. Feel a presence standing behind me. And he peeks over. He peeks over my shoulder like this. Like he's surprised that I could see him. Or her. Or it. Every time. It's a shadow person. Which makes it even more terrifying. But every time, standing over my right shoulder. Ooh, it's so scary, bro. But every time he's there. So are these entities always with us? Is this an entity that has been with me since birth that's guiding my decision making? Or is that me from outside of the Matrix? You know? Like, is that me controlling this avatar? Is that where I control this Jason from? Who's to say? My light just came on, so luckily it's goes with the setting. Here we go. Let's jump back in.
The God thing. So it's like, oh, this is my true hands, my code hands. He says, take 1 more. You gotta do it. I believe in you.
3
Hands
hits.
it over. It's shaking. The whole thing is clearly about to take off. I feel like it was going to take off regardless of whether I hit it or not, but just going in, he holds the thing up. Inhale. Exhale.
Pause real quick. And by the third hit, usually I'll have to like coach my friends into like, no, take it. I have to like force them to take it, because by then you're losing your body function, because you have no body. Your soul's leaving your body at that point. You're already gone by the third hit. So think about it. That's how fast this stuff kicks in. 1 hit. 2 hit. You're already gone. That quick.
Breakthrough. Everything starts to whirl like a Fibonacci sequence of... The I amness is all I've ever been, and I had a clear feeling of that. Of course I'm an I am. Of course I can't be anything than an I am. I amness is I am. If that makes any sense. I could see more my past lives, my future lives, basically every combination of everything that could ever be was accessible in that database, in the larger consciousness system that I was seeing behind the veil of. And there were some entities, they were more chameleon-like than anything, kind of walking around like one of them noticed me and in a playful way just kind of extended its tongue and licked my eyeball, and didn't hurt at all or anything, but was kind of show like, yeah, see, I can mess with you, but nothing will hurt you at the deepest level. But then came the problem. As I climbed up, for lack of a better word, film strip of every possible multiverse timeline available, and as I'm looking at all of it, it hits me, I don't know which one I came from. I don't know what am I? Why am I looking at all this thing? Right then, I hear this voice from nowhere in particular go, "Stop the presses!" All the flowingness of everythingness came to a halt. So the ominous voice was kind of like, yeah, we can send you back whenever you want. All of this will still always be here. Just tell us where you want to get sent back to, and we'll send you back, and you'll get to go home. So there I was, the information boundary transfer point between the infinitely big and the infinitely small, trying to figure out how to get home. And then the voice asked, all right, so you're in Austin, Texas. You did the DMT with Shane. That's how you got here. Great. Did you do it in the living room, or did you do it in the recording studio? We did it in the studio. Send me back.
All right.
I open my eyes. We're sitting back in the studio. Wait a minute. Some more memories start to come back. I was sure that we had started in the living room. Beyond any measure of a doubt, but there's no way of proving that to anyone here because you guys are from the timeline where I did it in the studio. So I jumped back to one click wrong, and I look over to Shane, and he's got a big smile on his face. He knew. He's in on it. But I didn't experience any paranoia. It was quite the opposite. It was pronoia. The feeling that everybody is conspiring to do something good for you. Like there's just one big surprise party at the end of your life. No one is ever gonna let up to it, but I really wanted to record this so I can get it on record that I know that the surprise party is coming. Did you get all that? Because I have no idea what I just said.
So yeah, lots of love. It's a loving place you're going to and coming back from. But you're gonna learn that because we're gonna get deeper. This gets crazy this episode. I love this episode. I love talking about this because, you know, on Jtali Reacts, we're all about raising your vibrations. Like, and I don't feel like you can get on a higher level of consciousness than this because you're no longer here and you're no longer in this plane of existence. Let's jump into the next clip. Ooh, this next clip's fun. Watch. This next clip's crazy. Here we go.
And then they put like a half of a 2-liter bottle on top of it, and they lit the foil so that it could create smoke. And so the 2-liter bottle filled up with smoke. And he was like, yo, when I say hit it, you get ready to hit it and hold it for as long as you can. And so I'm like, all right, cool. So I hit the smoke, and I held it. And as soon as I blew it out, blast the fuck off, literally, my brain blasted off. Let me try to put it into context. So as soon as I blew the smoke out, I heard him say, lay back. And what his voice sounded like was this.
Lay back.
Well,
Yo, so I had to add that. That, like, if you couldn't tell my face, like, that gave me a flashback. Like, because that lay back, like, it changes everything. And that's how I know, like, your ears don't hear, your brain hears, because it changes your brain chemistry. Like, the first time I, like, really broke through, I had I don't ever want to feel like I did that day. That was playing, and it was, like, a completely different song. Like, I couldn't even understand the music. Like, so it changes the audio frequencies as well. It's really amazing. It's crazy. Look, if you guys made it this far, be sure to smash that like button. It helps out the algorithm. Let's get this video up to 5,000 likes and send the algorithm through the roof. So I added this because I thought it'd be cool to get, like, some idea of how it looks. I mean, imagine this, but 360 degrees all around you, 5-dimensional. Like, that's what I hear always. Like, I always hear that, like a super deep. That was pretty good. That's like how it sounds. Oh, I was in the zone for a minute, like meditating. But yeah, like that's kind of how it sounds. Like whoa, 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 whoa. It's crazy. Let's jump into the next clip. So as good of a visual representation as that video was, I think you guys want more, right? So I'm going to give you more. A really good movie that shows a pretty good idea of what it feels like is Doctor Strange. Let's run the clip. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So right here is a good, like, example. Like, you're just tumbling through, back flipping, front flipping. There is no you, but your soul is like flipping and flipping and flipping, and then it stops. And then you're back to reality. Let's see what else we got for you guys today. Oh, I got another Tales from the Trip. You want to see that?
This is the craziest.
So this is the
thing
dude
that's
the other
ever
guy was
happened to me
talking
in my
about.
entire life. When I first started smoking DMT, I was going to these different dimensions and seeing these different beings, and I kind of thought it was all in my head. It doesn't look like that when you're in the experience, but it's how I rationalized it to myself afterwards. I would be talking with these beings that were seemingly giving me all of this information that I could never remember. And I was like, well, you need to show me something to prove that you're outside of my head. About the 20th time that I smoked DMT, I was all of a sudden in this 50s kitchen. There was a boy sat down in the kitchen. It was like he was in trouble or something, and his father wanted to tell him something, but he didn't know how. His father came up, and he just went like this. The kitchen just collapsed and deconstructed into a movie set, and it was revealed to the boy that I think was me, that he'd been living on a movie set his entire life. And then he could see the entire universe. He's taking all of this in, and then the universe just ripped open, and then there was this purple fabric behind it, and then I got sucked into that purple fabric, And then I was in this other dimension. And I was sitting there working with this guy in this other dimension that I think was me. And we had some sort of job, which is a real bummer. We were trying to figure out how to keep this portal open or this gateway open or something. We got done with work that day, and there was a carnival. And there's a Ferris wheel.
Oh, the carnival.
And
I was there.
There's some guy playing a piano, and then this dancing purple gypsy woman comes out, and it's like I've known her for lifetimes. Like I've spent thousands of lifetimes with this woman, and it's just been a while since I've seen her and we saw each other. And right away I was like, oh my God, it's so good to see you. And we caught up for a while, and then when the DMT was wearing off, she told me that everything was just going to be okay and that all of this just keeps on repeating itself over and over again, so not to worry about it too much. We got sad that we were going to have to split up and I was going away again. And so to cheer me up, she just spun around and exploded in diffractals that turned into like bats and different creatures that became everything in the universe. And then it became me and I was everything, and then it got sucked back out and it was just her spinning around again. She's like, see ya. And I got out of it and I was like, okay, well, that was weird. But that's DMT for you. There's always weird stuff like that happening, and you're interacting with these strange beings. The next night, I went and I gave DMT to a friend for his first time. He'd never had DMT, and I didn't want to ruin anything by sharing anything about the experience with him. I wanted to go in there fresh. So I told him, here's this bowl, just smoke it for as long as you can. So he starts smoking this bowl and he's coughing a lot. I can't tell how many hits he's getting. And I'm encouraging to keep going, and now he's having like 8, 10 hits. Is more than what I expected him to do. And he sits back and he just goes, I had too much, I had too much, I had too much. So it's a minute and a half in, and he's still going, I've had too much. And I'm thinking, he might have had too much. Then finally, he sits back, this smile comes on his face, and he is just like, oh, they love you here. And I was like, yeah, there's like a real sense of like love or going home or belonging or something. He's like, no, they love you, Shane. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he goes, there's this purple woman in here that says that she knows you really well, and she just wants you to know that she cares about you. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, crazy. I'm in this carnival.
The carnival
there's this
again.
Ferris wheel, and this guy playing a piano, and there's this purple dancing gypsy woman that says that she knows you. I didn't talk for about 10 minutes, and then he got out of the experience, and I asked him about it, and he said that these little mechanical elf things scattered, and they were scared. He was scared of them. They were scared of him. When he heard my voice, they all started peeking out, and they're like,
is that Shane?
And he was like, oh, you guys know Shane? And they were like,
Oh yeah, he comes in here all the time.
and that's when this purple woman came out and said that she had a message for me. I have no explanation for it. I've seen that purple woman at least 5 or 6 times. Since that, we have this strange relationship. She gets jealous of my girlfriend sometimes. And so I think I'm dating a woman in a different dimension, but I don't even ever remember her name. I'm pretty sure we've known each other for thousands of lifetimes. I have no idea what her name is, which I imagine is irritating. And then maybe that's why I'm always in trouble with her.
No, that's because names are irrelevant. Names are a man-made thing, and they don't really matter. That's how you see somebody and like you know somebody, like you feel like you know them. You probably do. But sorry, my Reddit feed's blowing up top, guys. But amazing story, right? And that, in case you guys didn't know, goes with the guy, the last Tales from the Trip we watched. But that's pretty crazy. I was at the carnival too. I didn't see the purple woman. I kind of wonder if, based on where you're at in reality, does that determine where you're at in the DMT map? I sometimes wonder that. So the first time I really tried, I was like, the first time a couple times I did it, I didn't feel like I really broke through. So I did like 3 times in 1 week trying to break through. The third time I finally broke through. And I shot off
I did not remember smoking DMT. I don't know where I was or why I was there. I did not remember smoking DMT. I'm always like backflipping. My soul is like backflipping through this place, and then it kind of levels out. And when it levels out, I was in this blue and green and yellow garden. Blues and yellows and greens. And it was a garden, there was a tree there, and there was a jester dancing in front of me, looking at me, smiling, laughing at me. And he telepathically said to me, "Are you happy now? Now that you see us, are you happy now?" And I was like, "I'm ready to go back. Like, can you send me back? I'm ready to go back." Like, and then just as quick, I was back. But when you come back, you just have these endorphins running. You're happy. Everything's good. Like, you're happy to be back. You're happy to be alive. DMT saved my life.
The machine elves have permanently banned me from the DMT realm. And I honestly don't know what I did wrong. I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything wrong. I was playing with some psychic energy objects, some psychedelic plants and shapes. I was interacting with the bugmen. And apparently I did something, at some point I did something wrong, and the all-seeing infinite intelligence just lit me up like a light and said, "You are permanently banned, get out." I was told that I was spiritually bankrupt, that my soul was weak, weaker than most people's, and that was it. And I have tried now several times to go back, and I've been doing D&D for a long time. I'm a pro, okay? But I can't get back there now. I take it, I go into the darkness, I see the doors, I hear the machine elves, I can sense the all-seeing intelligence, and then I just hear, "Fuck off. Fuck off." And then I wake up as if nothing has happened. And I haven't even been there for very long, only a few seconds. Now, I'm normally there for hundreds of years. In the quantum realm, I am there for hundreds of years. I'm now there for maybe 2 minutes. And I don't know where the compound is going, because I'm not even having an experience anymore. I'm taking it, I'm being told to get out, and that's over. But I need to be able to go back there. We all do. We don't know if that isn't the actual reality, and that this world is a simulation. And I don't want to be trapped in this simulation. And if that's the realm we go to when we pass, then where does that leave me now, if I don't have access? So please, if anybody is going into the DMT realm or is meeting the machine elves or the all-seeing intelligence, please, can you ask them what it is I have done wrong, put in a word for me, and just explain that even though I was interacting with things, or maybe it looked like I was stealing something, I wasn't. If I was taking anything, it was simply to bring it back to this realm for analysis, so we can understand this psychic dimension in a different way. Please.
But I do not promote the use of any drugs on this channel. I do promote spiritual journeys, but always be sure to do it in a safe environment with people you could trust. And don't just buy it from somebody off the street. Like I said, it will find you when you're ready. I got one more video for you guys, and I think it's a great one to end this trip on. Here we go.
I was the 41st person in the world to do intravenous DMT for 5 hours. 5 or 6 months is what it felt like, of just being ripped out of this entire reality. I was with other things happening, and I could kind of observe things happening and talk to these creatures and stuff and these entities. Every human, without any exception, sees the exact same entities on DMT. It's more real than reality is. It's 1,000 times more real than this. On the DMT space, everything's okay. Like, it's full of love and non-judgment and all that stuff. And it kind of ruins you in a little bit, in a good way, where when you come back, you know, this looks like a cartoon oil painting when you come back. We're these little infantile hairless monkeys, like our little species. It's so funny. And then we're like, you know what I want to learn today? I'm going to learn the secrets of the universe. And then you do DMT and they're like, all right, motherfucker. And they show it all to you and you can't comprehend it. You can't understand it. You'll never be able to piece any of it together. Never. And try explaining 1/10000000 of 1% of it to another human being. Good luck. But they still show it to you. And it's like, you're not bringing it back. I'm laying there on this thing. I'm in this experience. They're like, all right, Chase, we're going to go ahead and start bringing you down. And the unwillingness that I had to come back here was monumental. I have a tape of the entire thing. I videoed it. Coming down, I did ask 39 times throughout that whole experience if I was dead. Like out loud, I'm like, am I dead? 39 times. That's how deep it was. Like I didn't know if I still had a body or if I was dead. I had no clue. It was really deep. And coming down, it felt like there was absolutely zero way for me to return back to this life without developing some narcissism. That's what was really depressing to me. That I had to go back and like develop a little just to survive, just to live on this planet. You had to have some narcissism. And I was crying so fucking hard, man. And these, God bless these people, wiping my tears and snot coming out of my nose. But it was like I did not really want to come back. It's kind of like if like you feel a weird thing on your head, you don't know what it is, and all of a sudden you're in another reality and someone just took off a VR helmet and this is where you've been the whole time. You're just inside of a little VR game. And then like you go to like actual reality where there's just unlimited love and peace and abundance, and they're like, okay, we got to put the helmet back on. You've got to go back inside the video game. Yeah. That's what it felt like, man. And just kind of integrating after 5 hours of that was really, really tough for probably a couple weeks.
5 hours on intravenous DMT, like, whoa, 5 hours, 10 minutes feels like an eternity. I couldn't imagine 5 hours. Man, it's so crazy. But once again, he didn't want to come back. He just felt love. But like I said, I think we've been there before. I think that maybe it's where we go when we die, or I don't like saying it that way. Maybe it's where we're from before we're born, right? Maybe. I don't know. All we can do is speculate. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. That's the end of the episode. If you're new to Jtali Reacts, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. As you can see, we're decoding this simulation one reaction at a time. If you want to unlock the cheat codes to life, smash subscribe. I'm Jtali. This is Jtali Reacts, and we out. Jtali. I manifest. Want it, I see it, I got it, I get it, no question.